Oh my goodness, I hope you guys heard me all the time. Okay, so this webinar, what we're going to go over is the importance of saving, or where you should put your money. So we'll go ahead and get started because I think it was something wrong with the volume a little bit right there. But real quick, so my name is Alma Nansui. Okay, I am a certified public accountant. And what that is that means that I'm certified to help the public when it comes to different financial needs. That's actually the highest level that you can achieve in the field of accountancy, which is this accounting, right? That's the CPA behind my name. In order for you to be able to sit for the exam, you have to have a 4-year degree in accounting, right? And then you also have to have a master's or a master's equivalent. So you'll have to have at least 150 credit hours in, related to your master's. I hope this is not somebody. Okay. Sometimes people will text me and say that they cannot hear me, but that's not that. Okay, so this webinar, all my webinars are going to be about financial education. I definitely believe in each one, teach one, you can change the world, right? So all my webinars are about financial education. We're going to go ahead and get started because I don't want to keep you guys here too long. But this is all about saving and why Robert Kiyosaki always says that saving is for losers. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so then you guys can see, and then I will basically be running through my slides so you guys can see them as I go through them, and I can kind of explain each one. Okay, now as I get out of Excel. Okay, so let's go ahead, turn on this screen share. That Okay. So, how saving will never make you rich, hosted by yours truly, Alma Nansui. So, a little bit about myself. I am a certified public accountant, born and raised in Chicago, Illinois. My mom is a retired school teacher and principal. She did that for her entire life, literally. She's still alive, but since she was able to work, she had a few other jobs, but her main career has always been teaching and educating and working for the Chicago public school system. My daddy, he is actually retired from the IRS. He was an IRS federal agent. He used to basically perform audits on individuals as well as corporations. Okay, so I've always had a passion for giving back and providing service, which I get from my mom, but then at the same time, just this passion for numbers and things like that, because numbers is, numbers don't lie. They are black or they are white. Okay. And so that's kind of what brings us here. So basically, I have always had a passion for learning as well as numbers. Right now, financial education is one of the things that have always really resonated with me, because it's one of those things that people aren't really too keen to it. People are afraid of it. People kind of avoid it, et cetera, et cetera. So with that being said, I always found myself where I was never an avoider. I wasn't afraid of the numbers because I actually like working with numbers, right? So that's what kind of brings us here, because I just want to be able to help everybody the way that I've been helped. I'm blessed and fortunate to, like I just said, have two amazing parents that have done everything for me and taught me so much. But I also have millionaire mentors. Okay, I have mentors that are literally millionaires. I have a mentor that never worked a job a day in his life. I have a mentor who was a millionaire by the age of 25. I have one that was millionaire by the age of 26. And then I have multi-millionaire mentors. One that, and they are all African American, which I absolutely love, you know, because sometimes it can be really difficult finding people like yourself that can actually teach you and show you the ropes. So that's, I have one mentor that's worth about 300 million and then one that's worth about 600 million. So all the information that I will share with you guys is really directly coming from them. And if you're interested in learning anything more about it, then definitely reach out to me. You can go to immathecpa.com. You can book a free 30-minute consultation. We can kind of run through whatever it is that you want to run through, but basically a overview of your finances so we can definitely help you get on the right track. So we have two objectives, right? In life, period. We need money to take care of our everyday living expenses. This is why we go to work every single day. A lot of Americans don't like their jobs. A lot of Americans would, even if you like your job, sometimes you don't want to go to work. Sometimes you would much rather just lay in the bed or do whatever it is, right? So that's objective number one. Our second objective is that we need money to take care of our everyday living expenses once we retire. Because let's face it, ladies and gentlemen, none of us want to work forever. Okay, none of us want to work forever. So we need money for our everyday living expenses. And then we also have to be in a place where we can put money to the side for our future expenses as well when we retire. And just a sidebar, ladies and gentlemen on the line, retirement is not an age. You know, a lot of people think that retirement is an age like, oh, retirement is 59 and a half. But then you have people like Paris Hilton. She was born retired, right? She has literally never had to work a day in her life. Not like my mentor that was just building businesses since he was a kid. Okay, Paris Hilton had a business that was already built for her, so she never had to work. Her kids will never have to work. They own the Hilton empire. Okay, so those are our two objectives. So why do we need to save? Basically, three main things that we need to save for. We need to save for any type of rainy days. Okay, this is like our mini emergency fund. This is, you know, your tire goes out, your transmission goes out. The second reason that we need to save is, let's say we are unable to work. This is for our true emergencies. This is like you cannot go to work. Something, you know, God forbid something happens. Maybe you lose your job. Maybe you decide to quit. Maybe you have to take care of a sick relative, or maybe you are the one that's sick temporarily, you know. So this is why we need the true emergency. And then number three, which is directly related to objective number two, is we need to be able to save up money for our future. Okay, so those are the top three things that reasons why we need to save. Oops. Okay, so I just want to go through some saving statistics. 20% of adults have literally zero cash in the bank to fall back on. Okay, so not, you know, $500, $200. They have zero cash in the bank to fall back on. The average checking account hovered around $4,436 for Americans, right? So what does that mean? Okay, that means that people are making decent money, but we just don't know what to do with our money. Okay, 38 million households live from paycheck to paycheck, which is directly related to that, because if the average checking account is hovering around $4,500, however, 26% of adults have literally zero cash in the bank to fall back on. That means that most of Americans, actually 38 million of households, live from paycheck to paycheck, which means that if the money is in your checking account, you are spending it. Okay. Millennials, 35 and younger, millennials have the worst savings rate ever at a negative 2%. So I don't know if millennials, I don't know what it is, but these are the statistics. Okay. So the savings for emergency. So the mini emergency, this is $2,500 to $3,000 that we need to have. And I know you're like, okay, right, but where should I put it? Because you said I should never put it in the bank. That's what was advertised on the flyer that went out. So I will get to that shortly. So the mini emergency is $25,000 to $3,000. This is basically, like I said, you need new tires. Your transmission goes out. Something that's not a huge emergency, but you need a pretty penny. If you think about it, a lot of us, we want our insurance deductible to be low because we don't have the money to pay if something happens, if we have some type of emergency, if we have some type of accident. So you want your insurance deductible to be $250, $500, because maybe you'll be able to come up with that. I know mine is like $250, but I have a pretty good driving record. So my premiums are not that high. But, you want it to be really low because maybe you don't have that money. If something happens and your deductible is $1,500 or $1,000, then you're like, how am I going to pay the rent? How am I going to pay the mortgage if I have to pay $1,000 or more to get my car fixed? Okay, so that's the purpose of the mini emergency. The true emergency, whatever your monthly expenses are, times 6, times 8. Okay, you need anywhere from 6 to 8 months of your expenses, your monthly expenses saved up. So let's say, like I mentioned, for whatever reason, you cannot work. Okay, then you can be able to pay your bills comfortably while you look for another job, for 6 to 8 months. This will allow you to be comfortable. A lot of times, I hate to say it, but it's just true. A lot of Americans are like one paycheck away from homelessness, meaning that if you miss one paycheck, now you miss your mortgage. Now you miss your rent. Now you miss your lights. Now you miss your gas, et cetera, to the point where it snowballs out of control and people end up getting evicted from their homes. Okay. So this is the purpose. This is one of the reasons why we have to save for emergencies. So some retirement statistics. Employees ranging from the years of 39 years old to 49 years old are saving $200 a month. Now, that's a good start, but that's not a lot of money. Employees from between 50 and 59 years old are only saving $78 a month. Now, again, saving anything is better than saving nothing, but $78 a month, 36% of adults have not even begun to save for their golden years. So 36% of Americans have not even thought about retirement. And this is a really scary statistic. And if you think about it, ladies and gentlemen that are on the line and on the webinar, you think about it. Think about how many elderly people you see nowadays working at Walmart, working at McDonald's. And some of them not even in supervisory capacities. This is just a job that they had to take to supplement for their income, right? Supplement for their Social Security, supplement for their 401k. So that's another purpose of this webinar, is I want you guys to kind of get out of this what you need to do for your retirement and how important it is. So rule of 20. Now, basically what the rule of 20 states is that you need, and please write this down, you need at least 20 times your salary saved up. You need at least 20 times your salary saved up where you can earn interest, right? And you can only, you leave the principal alone. So what that means, let's say, just to put things into perspective, if you are currently making $50,000 a year, you need $1 million in a bank account earning you 10% interest. At a minimum, it's earning you 10% interest, and then that will get you your $50,000 a year for you to live off of. So $50,000 multiplied by 20 is $1 million. And if you take that $1 million and multiply that by 10%, you can live off of the interest. Okay. I'm sorry, multiply by the, right. So you want to have it invest in 20%. You need it to be in a retirement account where you can live off of the interest. Now, the interest rate may vary. Some people may be able to get 5%. Some people may be able to get 10%. But the whole thing is that a lot of people are not going to be able to get more than the 10%. So you want to have at least 20 times your salary right now saved up in a retirement account. Okay. So here are some cold hard facts for you guys to kind of jot down, especially if you're looking towards retirement, or even if you are not looking, please forgive me, even if you are not looking towards retirement, you just want to jot these down because this is a benchmark of where you should be. You know, these are not exact because it's 30 years old, 40 years old, 45, you know, you may be 42. Okay. But it's kind of a benchmark so you can see and think about where you are and where you need to be. So if you're 30 years old, you need $64,000 in a 401k or equivalent. 40 years old, you need $162,000. 45, $219,000. If you're 50, you need $312,000. And if you are 60 years old, you need $750,000 in a 401k or equivalent. Okay. And this is because the whole rule of 20, right? You need to be able to supplement your income and live off of the interest payments alone and not touch the principal. Okay, I hope that's making sense. And definitely after the webinar, I'll be here to answer any questions. And if you're watching this on the replay or if you are watching this on YouTube, you can always shoot me an email. If you are on the webinar, you can reply to where you signed up for the webinar and where you got the email for the replay. It comes directly to me. Or you can email me. If you're on YouTube, you can shoot me an email, Amma, AMMA, at AmmaTheCPA.com. Okay. So now I want to go over the banker's secret. So this is why you should never, ever, ever leave your money in a bank, a traditional bank. So use the rule of 72. Which is basically 72 divided by your interest rate is the amount of time that it will take for your investment to double. Okay, so let's say one person has 4%, one person has 6%, and one person has 12%. Now, also, I do want to point out that 4% is not even what they give you in a traditional bank savings account. A traditional bank savings account is somewhere around 1%. And that's why I was saying you guys never ever want to leave your money in a traditional bank, because even at this 4%, it's not getting you very much. So at 4%, and we'll just go across 4%, your money will double every 18 years. Every 18 years at 4%. Okay. At 6%, your money takes 12 years to double. And at 12%, which is a lot better, okay, that is a lot better, it takes your money 6 years to double. So you can see on our chart here, let's say we all start out at 29 years old and we come into some money, or maybe we've just been saving money since we were about, working maybe 16, 17 years old. So we're 29 years old. We have $10,000 to invest. Now, at 4%, it's going to take us 18 years. So 18 years added to the 29. Now we're 47 before we get $20,000. And then we're 65 years old before we get $40,000. That's it. Now, mind you, ladies and gentlemen on the line, that the average savings account for a regular traditional bank, Bank of America, Chase, PNC, just a regular traditional bank where you have your checking account and everything, it's going to give you about 1% in a savings account. So that is definitely not where we want to save our money, because using the rule of 72, we see that it's going to take 18 years for our money to double. Okay, so moving right along at 6%, if we start out at 29 years old with the same $10,000, now, this person is a little bit better because it takes 12 years. So in 12 years at 41 years old, we have $20,000. Another 12 years, we have $40,000 and we're 53. Now, in comparison to that same $40,000 at 4%, we were 65. Okay. And now at 65 years old, our money has doubled again. Thank you. Finally. And we have $80,000. Okay. Now that's at 6%, but 12% is even better. So anytime you take 72 and divide it by the interest rate that you are getting, it will tell you how many years it will take for your money to double. So using our same exact example, we start off at 29 years old. We got $10,000. By the time we're 35, we have $20,000. Now, how many 35-year-olds do you know right now that have $20,000? I'll wait. Now, really, for the sake of time, I won't wait. But just for, just so you guys can really see, it's not a lot of 35-year-olds that even have $20,000 right now. Okay. So if you're 41, by the time you get 41, because it's doubling every 6 years, now you have 40,000. 47, you have 80,000. 53, 160,000. By the time you're 59, you have 320,000. Now, just to compare really quickly, at the 6%, the person in column, at the 6% column, the person in the middle was 65 years old before they got $80,000. Okay. Now, this person with 12%, they are 47. And then by the time they are 65, it doubles. You guys, the screen is a little bit too big, but it's $640,000, as opposed to the 60 at the 6%. This person was 65 years old. It's only $80,000. So definitely keep that in mind. This is why you do not want to put your money into a regular savings account. This is why Robert Kiyosaki says that saving is for losers. Okay. Because you want to find good investments for your money, and this is not it. Another thing that I do want to point out, when you do start to invest, please, please, please make sure that you have your emergency fund set up, your true emergency fund, and your mini emergency fund. And these are some of the things that my mentors taught me. My $600 million mentor is a founder of an amazing company called MyEcon, where this is all he does is teach these types of principles. Okay. So definitely, if you're interested in learning more information about things like that, you can reach out to me directly. I'll be more than happy to help. You can also book a consultation with me, a free consultation, just because, like I said, I truly believe in each one teach one, we can change the world. Okay. So the rules for a savings account before we get out of here. Now, you only want to, the rule for saving, you only want to keep in your checking account what is needed. So whatever you need for the next 2 to 3 months is what should be in your checking account. If you needed anything in 4 months, then you want to have that in a brokerage account, a non-commercial bank account. You want to have it somewhere where it's earning more money for you, okay, like a municipal bond. You definitely want to look into investment brokerage firms and not traditional banks. And I can get you guys some more information on that, but that's definitely some of the things that my mentors teach me and have been teaching me and will continue to teach me. And it's some of the things that I would love for them to share with you as well. And so that just about does it. At this time, I'll go ahead and go back to the regular screen. You can, I almost said star six. I'm so used to doing phone calls as well. So if you have any questions, you can go ahead and put them in the chat room. And if not, then we will go ahead and get out of here. And everybody enjoy their amazing, amazing evening. I'm so excited that so many people were able to tune in on this Monday evening. We have over 60 people registered. So I'm definitely proud of that. And just spread the word. You know, like I said, each one teach one. We can definitely change the world. You guys have any questions, especially if you're watching the replay, feel free to get back with me. And you want to get back with the person that even put you on the webinar as well, and they can help you. They're probably one of my colleagues, so to speak, will probably be mentored by the same person, and they can definitely help you get your questions answered as well. But if that person was me, then I'll definitely be following up. And hope you guys have an amazing, amazing Monday. And remember, each one teach one, we can change the world. Reach out to me. You guys have any questions regarding anything related to finances, and I am here to help. You guys have an amazing, amazing day. Good night.